Okay, so you're a Canadian author, you've poured your heart and soul into your manuscript, and it's finally done. Now what? Well, this explainer is all about showing you how to take that document and turn it into a real, sustainable business that can last for years.
You know, a lot of first-time authors have this idea that publishing is basically just clicking upload. And I get it, it seems that simple. But honestly, that belief is the single biggest trap you can fall into on your journey.
And this really gets to the heart of a critical distinction. Are you a poster or a publisher? See, a poster just uploads a file and kind of hopes for the best. A publisher, on the other hand, is strategically managing a long-term asset. It's the difference between buying a lottery ticket and actually building a business from the ground up. Getting this one thing right is the most important step you can take for long-term success. You have to shift your thinking. You're not just the creative genius who wrote the book. You are also the CEO of a publishing company, even if it's a company of one. So, what does a real publisher actually do? Well, they operate with a system. They control their own intellectual property, they own their ISBNs, and we're going to get to why that's so critical in just a second. They make smart, strategic choices about where their book is sold, and they're always playing the long game. So let's dive into your first and maybe your most powerful strategic tool. And it's a huge advantage that's pretty much unique to us authors here in Canada. Yep, zero. That is exactly how much it costs for Canadian authors to get their own official ISBNs. This is a massive leg up on authors in the US who have to buy them. This little fact unlocks some serious strategic possibilities for you right from day one. But wait, what even is an ISBN? Well, the easiest way to think of it is like your book's fingerprint, or maybe it's commercial passport. It's this 13-digit number that's a global identifier. It tells everybody in the book industry, we're talking retailers, libraries, wholesalers, exactly who published your book and which specific version it is. And the best part? Getting them is incredibly simple. You just register yourself as a publisher with Library and Archives Canada, and then you can request your block of ISBNs online. It's a really straightforward process that lets you take control of your publishing identity before you've even uploaded a single file. Okay, so you've embraced the publisher mindset, you've got your free Canadian ISBNs. Now let's see how we apply this thinking inside the biggest self-publishing platform on the planet, Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing, or KDP. All right, you're inside KDP, you're setting up your paperback, and boom, you hit your first major fork in the road. Amazon's going to offer you a free ISBN. It seems super convenient, right? But this choice has some really serious long-term consequences for your book. So here's the trade-off. Using Amazon's free ISBN is easy, for sure, but it means Amazon is listed as the official publisher, and it permanently locks that edition of your book into their ecosystem. But when you use your own ISBN, you are the publisher, and that gives you total freedom and flexibility to distribute your book anywhere you want. Now remember, since your own ISBN is free here in Canada, this isn't a money decision. It's 100% strategic. So you have to ask yourself, are you optimizing for a little bit of convenience today, or are you optimizing for long-term control over your entire career? Okay, next up, your second big strategic decision inside KDP. This one's all about your ebook. You have to decide where it can be sold, and this choice pretty much determines your entire distribution strategy. So here's how it breaks down. You can enroll your ebook in KDP Select. That means it's exclusive to Amazon for 90-day periods. In return, your book gets into Kindle Unlimited, and you get access to some of Amazon's special promotional tools. The other option is going wide. That's where you skip the exclusivity and instead make your book available on other stores like Kobo and Apple Books, and, this is a big one, you get it into libraries. So which is right for you? Well, KDP Select can be amazing for a really powerful Amazon-focused launch, but going wide is all about building a more diverse, stable business that can weather any storm. The real question is, are you building for a flash in the pan, or are you building a foundation? All right, let's zoom out for a second. These individual choices you make on KDP about ISBNs and exclusivity, they aren't just isolated decisions. They're actually the very first building blocks of your entire publishing infrastructure. This is a fundamental truth that every single professional independent publisher understands deep down. It is so easy to get tunnel vision and think your entire career depends on the whims of Amazon, but that's a really dangerous place to be. You have to see Amazon for what it truly is, an incredibly powerful, incredibly important distribution channel. It's a vital tool,
Maybe the most important tool in your toolkit, but it is still just one of many ways to get your book to your readers.
And that brings us to the core philosophy here. Look, Amazon's algorithms are going to change. Reader trends will come and go. But the infrastructure you build, the assets you actually own and control, that's what will future-proof your career and give you real, lasting stability.
So what does this infrastructure actually look like? Well, it starts with those assets you own, your ISBNs, and your own publishing imprint name. Then it expands. You start using platforms like Ingram Spark to get your print books into bookstores, and services like Draft2Digital to push your ebook out to libraries and all the online stores beyond Amazon. It's all about creating multiple paths for readers to find your book.
If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Make the mental shift from being a simple poster to being a true publisher. Own your assets, starting with that amazing free Canadian ISBN, and then intentionally, piece by piece, build your own business infrastructure.
Because when you approach publishing with this mindset from day one, you're not just tossing a book out into the world and hoping for the best. No, you are strategically and intentionally building a lasting enterprise, one that you control for years and years to come.